All right, we're back, Vane, from Colorado. Talking about the importance of talent, and I know KPA assists clients on the hiring process, the minimizing costs of turnover, obviously much more than that. As you said, keeping companies on the straight and narrow. But what's your thoughts on the board having expertise in that whole process of talent acquisition, development, retention, effective succession planning, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, I think it's super imperative, Mark, to have best practices there. I think the board should pay a lot of attention to that part of the business because at the end of the day, as they always say, your company is only as good as the management team and the employees that are working for it. And I truly believe that. I've taken over four different founder-led companies, and each time the first thing I do is to assess the talent that I have, and then typically make some significant adjustments to the management team, being bringing in outstanding folks that'll help me scale the business. And that tends to be certainly something that, depending on what size the company is and how sophisticated they are, they may or may not be willing or have the skill set or the interest to do based upon who they may have, whether it be founders that are on the management team or protected class people that may be holding them back from the growth that they would really like to see. So I think from the board perspective, working closely with the CEO and some of the management team to understand what the skill set is of each of the key executives, understand if there is a succession planning depending on the size of the company. Sometimes mid-size or smaller company may not have the number two right behind that's going to be able to step into the position, but certainly doing the right hiring and training and development of those skill sets is important, so that if that does happen, you've got a go-to person either in transition or long term to take over that key role. For us, it's been with KPA specifically, we actually help our clients with HR management, so we get involved in a lot of these discussions with how do they do succession planning, what's important for the board to be involved with, what kind of training is required, how do we hire talents and reduce turnover. In the auto industry, auto dealer industry, where we put a lot of focus, there's a lot of turnover of employees, and that gets frustrating from the cost of getting the new person trained and the risk of upsetting a client along the way. So I think it's from a board's perspective, it's something that each board should be thinking about, which is, does my company that I sit on the board of have good practices there? For example, here at KPA, we brought in impact hiring, which is kind of a process that was put together by a keynote speaker on the Vistage circuit, Brad Remillard, and his partner. And we use that very religiously here as far as how we screen applicants. We have a complete job description that really talks about what the first year on the job looks like. So when they're interviewing, you can really understand as an applicant for that company, okay, here's exactly what I'm going to be doing, and is that exciting or not? And if I'm an A player and I see a lot of work on there and a lot of challenges, I'll be excited. And if I'm a C player, it scares the heck out of me because I'm afraid I'm going to have to do a lot of work and I'm going to have a lot of challenges. So that, along with doing personality profiles and the appropriate background checks and so on, you can't be careful enough now to hire the right person for the job, and from a board perspective to have the right management team and make sure your CEO and teammates are really putting a lot of focus on it.
Totally agree. From the executive search standpoint, of course, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Thank you.